Hello and welcome to the learning series, Care Interventions for People Living with Dementia During the COVID-19 Pandemic, presented by the Federation of Quebec Alzheimer's Societies. My name is Diane Lozon. I am a family counselor and certified trainer at the Alzheimer's Society Laval, and I'll have the pleasure of presenting this capsule, Adaptive Communication Approaches to Nurture Relationships of Trust with People Living with Dementia. Too often, people living with dementia are judged on test results highlighting the losses experienced with little thought to emotional or physical states. By focusing on their illness, we may conclude that they are incapable. However, they can still do many things with guidance. We often speak of what they have lost, but shouldn't we instead be speaking of what they have not lost? By focusing on the person's abilities and skills rather than their deficits, the person-centered approach preserves identity despite and beyond cognitive impairment, allowing the person to maintain a sense of control over life, to make choices, to maintain dignity, and feel equal to all others. These adapted communication approaches are used to modify certain behaviors as well as develop authentic communication by providing the person with a sense of security and well-being. These approaches can be combined, and of course, having some knowledge of their personal history is essential for maximum efficacy. So we're going to look at sensory stimulation, reality orientation, and validation. Sensory stimulation. So the objective is to help maintain a sense of connectedness to the environment and reduce also inward withdrawal by enhancing the ability to feel and recall various sensations. It's mostly used for those with serious cognitive losses who sometimes present behavioral symptoms and are vulnerable to sensory overload. We'll use it by exposing the person to familiar and meaningful sensory stimulation, such as sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch, and one without, so a pause afterwards, or something more relaxing. So we're going to stimulate one sense at a time. Activities must be dosed and adapted to the person's ability to positively manage it. We're going to try and avoid also sensory overload. So we always must be aware of excess physical environment stimulation, like excess noise or bright light, as well as excess human environment stimulation, like loud conversations or busy hallways. So our example here, Mrs. Jones always eats her meal in her room. When you come back to check on her 15 minutes later, you realize that she hasn't started eating yet. She's watching TV. So we could answer, for instance, Mrs. Jones, may I sit next to you for a few minutes while you eat? Would you like to listen to your favorite music? So you want to avoid any sensory overload when the person must accomplish a particular task. So avoid other distractions. As you ask if you can turn the volume down or perhaps turn it off completely. So her focus is on one thing, eating her food. However, if she refuses, respect her choice. You can also invite her to eat, talk about the food on her plate, add nonverbal cues like name and point at the ingredients, talk about their color, the odor. You can also help initiate the eating response by mimicking the movement. Okay, now we have reality orientation. The objective is to help people situate themselves in time, space, and in relation to others. It provides a certain grounding, if you will, in reality that helps reduce confusion. It's seldomly used for those with moderate to severe cognitive losses because you want to avoid confronting the person. So remember, we must respect the person's reality. Now, how do we use it? We provide daily gentle, simple information, reference points, or cues to orient people to the best of their abilities. The example, Mrs. Jones says she wants to return to her home. She's convinced that she doesn't live here. So we want to first question the need that underlies the request. We want to explore if there's something else that could be related to her statement. Show and tell key reference points. For instance, come, Mrs. Jones, let's go to look at pictures in your room. You know, the one with a beautiful grandfather clock. As you're walking, you can also name significant elements along the way. Name people that she knows that she crosses, the plant that she adores, for instance. Show her familiar and meaningful pictures and objects uh, along the way, but also in her room, her perfume, different pictures, things that have a special meaning or that are significant to her. Remember to connect, not to correct. If this doesn't work, invite her to help you accomplish a familiar task. So use diversion. Reassure her by talking about her children who know she is there and come to visit her often. If necessary, call call a family member that she would like to speak with. Validation. So the objective is to help the person express her feelings and feel understood. So we use it by identifying and validating the person's emotion in the message, whether it's positive or negative. So, for instance, Mrs. Jones, you look sad. Would you like to talk to me about it? It helps the person to recognize what she's feeling and also help her express it in words through our words, actually. There's also the validation of content. So we use it by entering into the person's situation that's causing anxiety. So if I give you another example, if the person is worried somebody is under her bed or in the closet, we could answer, for instance, let me see if there's a stranger under your bed. We could go and check with her. The person is gone. I undoubtedly scared him away. You don't have to worry about it anymore. He won't be coming back. So we're going to comfort the person, reassure her, and settle the difficulty, the situation that was causing anxiety. These feelings are real regardless of the reality of others. Another example, Mrs. Jones would like to speak with her deceased mother. So avoid confronting her or trying to reason with her. If you sense that she misses her mother, ask her if this is the case. You can also invite her to tell you about her mother. What was she like? What did they enjoy doing together? Make sure you identify and address, of course, her concerns. Okay, so for further information, you can contact the Alzheimer's Society in your region. There are 20 across Quebec to help and support you. You can also visit the website alzheimerquebec.ca or send an email to info@alzheimerquebec.ca. Thank you very much for your time.